Well, you are the perfect person to talk to. You have been there during the Obama inaugurations, during the transition, helped lead that. They have so much they want to do, the Biden administration, an immigration plan, an infrastructure deal, a Green New Deal, a stimulus plan. How do you decide what takes priority and what can realistically get done?
Well, the good news is that we now have a president and a vice president with experience managing and multitasking. President Biden, it's such a pleasure to say that, obviously served for 8 years as vice president, oversaw the Recovery Act when we had our last economic crisis back in 2008, 2009, is used to managing multiple issues at one time. And so I think what he's demonstrated is it is important for us to be able to move down parallel paths. We have got to get control of the COVID-19, and the relief package he announced that he's asking Congress to pass has money in there to help with not only the production of vaccines, getting our supplies in shape, improving our schools, another $1 trillion to relief for families in unemployment, as well as other relief for folks who are struggling, and then money for our communities, including local, state, and tribal governments and our businesses who are struggling. And so that has to be moved forward at the same time as we are trying to get our economy going again. And he has said over and over again that it won't really be able to get going until we control the virus, which is why another executive order that he's signing today, leading by example, is to say on all federal property, he's going to mandate that masks be worn. We know that the science proves that it's effective, and we need to see more people doing it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if people will actually listen, but it is a different tactic from the administration. Valerie, he's also set this week to call on Congress to take up a new immigration plan with some sweeping proposals, including a path for citizenship. This has been tried before. We still have a very divided Congress. Is this time going to be different in terms of being able to get it over the line?
Well, I sure hope so. And the fact that things have been tried before is no reason not to try them again if they're the right thing to do. And this is definitely the right thing to do. By executive order, he can give certainty to the dreamers who've been hanging their lives in balance for the last 4 years. But he also believes that we should have comprehensive immigration reform. Certainly the business community has been supportive of that. The advocacy groups have been supportive of that. Many in law enforcement have been supportive of that. And we just need the will in Congress to move forward. And now that the Democrats do have a majority in both the House and the Senate, and President Biden has made it very clear he intends to reach out to both sides of the aisle, as demonstrated this morning by inviting a bipartisan group of legislators to worship with him and attend the ceremony. And it was heartening to see so many who did show up, even a few who were questioning the legitimacy of the election still showed up. And so I do think, and this addresses the issue of the masks as well, you need leadership at the top to set the right tone. And people will follow a good example. And he will be a consistent messenger, believing in science. You mentioned the importance of climate change, rejoining the Paris Accord that will address climate in a global way, not just one country, but nearly 200 countries from around the world, putting John Kerry in charge of that. First time ever to have someone who sits on the National Security Council of his stature focused on climate change. These are all ways in which President Biden is going to tackle the issues that are so important to the American people. And yes, he can do more than one thing at a time, and he will challenge Congress to do the same.
I wanted to pivot back to the new president, a man, of course, you know very well, and you also have personal experience of taking up an important role in a new administration on day one. And I just wondered what you thought would be going through his mind right now. Do you think he would be nervous and daunted, excited? What do you think? What are the emotions he's experiencing this evening?
My guess is it's a range of emotions. This is a person who has run for president twice before and not been successful. Then he became vice president. And now at this important point in our nation's history, he's been given the confidence of the American people. So I know he must be proud, honored, humbled, and ready to work. And the good news is that his team has been working now for several months, which is enabling him to hit the ground running, which is what the American people have the right to deserve. And I know that he will organize his government in a way that follows facts and science and delivers on the promises that he made in the course of the campaign and stays true to public service, which is what has driven him for the better part of his entire life. And what a perfect way for him to go into office with a partner who's breaking all kinds of glass ceilings, now Vice President Harris by his side, who will be a very important part of the administration.
What about you, Valerie? A lot of familiar faces coming into the Biden-Harris administration from the Obama-Biden administration. Is that something that you would consider?
I have the most important office that there is that you and I share, actually, and that's the office of citizen. And so I've spent about half my career in the public sector and half in the private, and I'm looking forward to helping best I can from the outside.
Valerie Jarrett, thank you for joining us on this momentous day.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.